Alright, so welcome back, guys. Like I said before, this VOD very well may be the one that just gets uploaded to YouTube, less the original picking phase. This is our third remake. I'm Zyori, with me is Min. We do have FTD versus GuC in the upper set of semifinals. We've introduced this game a couple of times already, Min. We've got AP here. Unfortunately, there was a DC that started this whole thing off about 7 minutes into the first one. Demo Hunter on that Polywog Priest was up 3-0 in the mid lane, and we did have a remake forced, which is unfortunate here. So we may have a pause as we get into this game. But regardless, this should be the last remake, man. A best of one semifinal series. Sorry to make you reiterate, buddy. But impressions, GuC versus FTD.
Well, once again, it's as we can see from the previous game, it's like a carry game. So I suspect it's gonna be a long game with two potential carry, both Moon Queen and Dragon is facing each other head to head. So it depends who farm faster. Well, in my humble opinion, both heroes farm really fast. I mean, Moon Queen has her multi-strike and Draconis have its blazing flag. So yeah, it really depends who farmed faster and who had the better lane control. So as we can see just now, Bubbles at the suicide lane managed to pick up a kill onto Torturer. Yep. And he's really doing pretty decent at this suicide lane. So,
the real question here in my mind is, are they going to do the exact same thing? And by they, I mean all 10 players in this game. Are they going to do the same lane setup, or are things going to be rotated about? And it looks like we may see something similar. Kraken, though, he's going to walk into the danger zone. Uh-oh, that's what happens when you take a nap on the train tracks while the pain trains come in, Min. He's going to get caught by the stalagmites. It's a 4v1. If Kraken survives this, I will be more than shocked. He does not have enough for a second tsunami charge, at least not yet. Gonna try and micro into the trees. It's not happening. Hiroki gonna pick up that last hit. Wow, very nicely done. Who better to grab that bloodlust than Pebbles here, Min? GuC getting the start that they were looking for in the first iteration of this match.
Yeah, definitely. So the bloodlust kill actually goes to Pebbles, and it's really huge for him. So Pebbles, what do you need exactly? Early kills and to get your PK as soon as possible, and you will just snowball throughout the whole game. So, well, there you go, bloodlust kill.
And there you go. Pebbles. Kraken at -50 GPM here to start this game off. Not sure how the math is being calculated for that one, but there we go. He's about to break even. There we go, 0 GPM. Glad to see it. Very unfortunate start for him in the long lane, though. So, of some of the things we talked about in that last match, now Kraken, a hero we don't see, or I guess in the picking phase, as I should say. Kraken, not a hero we see too frequently anymore. He is fairly well suited for that suicide lane. Again, the escape mechanism that is tsunami charge. His natural tankiness is a strength hero, and then just plus some of his lane control mechanisms like splash. Well, not really lane control, but lane dominance, I should say, does give him some potential. In the mid lane, we do have the same matchup, Pebbles and Glacius going up against the Polywog Priest Plague Rider. As we mentioned before, Plague Rider Polywog Priest did very well in the first iteration of this match. Polywog Priest started 3-0 in the first 7 minutes, and Plague Rider in the mid lane was one of the hot debates we saw amongst chat. Does he fit in here? Is he best used in the mid lane? Generally speaking, no, but with Polywog Priest, it seems to be a good duo. Pebbles still not opting for the stout shield, did go Logger's Hatchet first without a shield, and that does mean these two ranged heroes should have a field day harassing back Pebbles between both of them at 550 range, and Glacius actually at 600, so that will give AK on Glacius here a little bit of a small edge in this mid lane.
Yeah, exactly. So like what I have previously keep on emphasizing on the mid lane for the Legion team, they really had a good amount of high burst damage coming from Polywog Priest and Plague Rider. So they really had to play really passive and just keep out of EXP range, and if possible get a few good creeps. So yeah, and especially Glacius, he's so squishy with the 492 HP pool, so gotta be really careful down there.
Yep. Absolutely. And Glacius Pebbles is definitely a lane combo that we talked about a little bit. They were picked up in the drafting phase very early on. They're actually the first pick was Polywog Priest for the Legion, and GuC grabbed Pebbles, Glacius in tandem in their first set of picks. So that is important to note, perhaps, of what their intentions are with this Pebbles. And again, with that great start, we'll see. Maybe a fast portal key will become a reality. Now, other parallels from the last game. Draconis had a fantastic start in the last match. He didn't have any kills, if I recall properly, but he did have quite a bit of farm, almost complete free farm against this Suicide Kraken. And that was really the same case for Moon Queen in the bottom, though Bubbles did pick up a kill on Torture, as you already mentioned, Min. And we'll see if Bubbles can do it again. Haha Zim, quite the player on GuC. He tends to stand out a little bit on those post-game stats. And we'll see what he does with Bubbles here. I do like Bubbles better than Kraken in that Suicide lane. If you have to compare the Suicide laners, Bubbles just brings so much more to the table. You know, it makes me wonder why Kraken. You know, I think a Wretched Hag may have fit into this roster a little bit better.
Yeah, exactly right. I mean, Wretched Hag is definitely better and fits in even more suitable than compared to a Kraken because of its, firstly, its escape mechanism, and secondly, Wretched Hag is she does not really need the item, but of course with item she's more powerful, but she's more on skill intense where she just needs her Sonar Scream and the Bad Blast. So yeah, whereas Kraken, you need to be tanky enough to actually tank throughout the game, or if you get locked down by any of the stunners or disabled, then you're done. So yeah, that's one point to take note of, and
absolutely,
it's really a good point to point out.
Yeah, definitely. And I think part of the motivation to grab Kraken here is they wanted a meaty hero. They wanted a strength. Obviously, they don't have any other melee besides Kraken. So they needed an initiator. They needed a beefcake to get in there and make it happen. But the issue is, like you said, putting him in the Suicide lane, it's a little bit of a double-edged sword. Yeah, he's going to get those levels, well, hopefully. But that's still going to be rough for him, as he is harassed back. Especially against the double range, a Luna Draconis. They have so much range on him. Are they both at 600? Yeah, they're both 600 Rangers. That is going to be so difficult. And as we've said time and time again, Draconis, he gets scary with a lot of fun. We are going to resume here. Hopefully that is the end of the lag issues, man. I'm eager to get this game underway. And I'm curious to see who's going to make it to the finals. Again, as we mentioned before, GuC kind of the favorite here, at least the team we've seen much more frequently on the Garena Han SEA channel. FTD, not even tagged up, sort of a no-name team, so to speak, not to put them down too much, but they don't have too many big names on their arsenal, yet they've been impressing us with their skills. So I'll be curious to see who actually takes this game and moves on to the finals.
Yeah, exactly. Same as me. I really interested to see this game, how it goes, and well, I'm really interested to see which carry will actually perform better. Is it Draconis or Moon Queen? So yeah, I'm really excited about this game, as you do.
And one of the issues as well with those two carries is Moon Queen is going to peak a little bit earlier. I think in the mid game, you know, that level 11 mark in particular, Moon Queen is going to be very powerful. That Moon Finale is going to be a very scary ability, going to be able to do a lot of damage. Draconis, not going to peak quite around that time, but in the later game, maybe more like that level 16 mark, Draconis is really going to start to shine. And if I had to venture a guess, I'd say Tofu's probably going to go a Nullstone first to get some of those stats, get that additional regeneration, and we'll see him just farm up that jungle, spam that Blazing Flight. Then after that, it'll be history. You just pick up kind of whatever he wants. Frostburn, maybe an okay item choice. Hell, I'd love to see a Charged Hammer. I think that synergizes quite nicely with Draconis, though. Not an item we see too frequently, Min.
Yeah, exactly. Well, attack speed item definitely is really good with Draconis, especially when he has his ultimate. So it makes him attack even faster and will be able to produce more fiery barrage. So it's definitely a good choice down there, not the worst of all. So for me, I will go for Charge Hammer build as well, but I will go for more defensive build first. So like maybe a Nullstone or a Shrunken Head. because he needs that magic immunity. He cannot be stopped. Once he's been locked down, he's not really that useful.
Yeah, this is definitely going to be a shrunken head game, and if, as you mentioned, with the 2 carries, this may be a longer game. I could very well see a nullstone, a shrunken head first, and then just transition into hard carry after that. I mean, even just maybe some life steal and then a savage mace, something like that may not be a bad way to go. Moon Queen is a hero that probably will gravitate towards a wing bow as the game goes on. We are resumed here again, as I said last time. Hopefully, fingers crossed for the last time in this game. Pings looking pretty low. They may spike a little bit once the game continues, but ping's looking good. So where were we? Those pauses always throw me off, man. I never remember what I was talking about before the pause. Once we get back into it. Glancing at the stats, let's see how the farms are. Draconis starting off 13-4, leading the way in raw creep score. Moon Queen only 9-5, and the difference in the suicide laners, yeah, Bubbles sitting 5-3, at least sitting level 3 right now, able to get a little bit of experience. Kraken 0-0. He has made it to level 2, but he is not even close to experience range. Oh man, this situation is going to compound pretty quickly here, man. Not only is Draconis going to be farmed, but the suicide laners are going to have such a disparity. That tanky Kraken, there's nothing cranky about him. He is tanky. He is definitely going to just become an overpriced paperweight in this game if he doesn't start picking up some farm in a fairly timely manner. Polywog Priest 11-5 as well, doing a nice job in this mid lane, shutting down Pebbles a little bit, who is only 10-4.
Yeah. Definitely. Compare our Torturer at the bottom, never mind. Forget about that. He's not going to pursue the kill for Torturer. So, well, speaking of that, Bubbles compared to Kraken, Bubbles is actually doing a really good job compared to Kraken. And if, yeah, like what you said, they want a melee strength hero in their lineup. But if Kraken doesn't get his farm, then he's really squishy as well, because if he doesn't have his Helm of the Black Legion or the Mystic Vestment, so he's another squishy hero which is not really much of the use. So he will be taken down even though he released his ultimate. So yeah, it's not really a good thing that we want to see. They might want to like rotate the lanes a bit, send out some support or yeah, stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll see what they decide to do. You also have to question Kraken's opening build a little bit, going Shield Hatchet. I like the thought process, you know, at least with the throw mechanic on the Hatchet, you should be able to pick up a little bit of farm. Gonna hold that thought as there's action in the mid lane. Hiroki gonna be able to pick up a kill onto Demo Hunter. Torturer gonna come in here and drop the entailments. Maybe gonna try and make something happen, but yeah, Hasted Pebbles gonna be just a little bit too much. And that's gonna be the second kill of the game, gonna go in favor of Pebbles. A much different start from the original take from this game. Again, this is a remake. I'm very unfortunate. Great news for GuC and Hiroki, but very unfortunate for this Polywog Priest. He's now 0-1 in this game, again, where he started 3-0 in that last match. Very unfortunate indeed. But yeah, the Hatchet Shield, Kraken unable to even really capitalize on the Hatchet to the fullest extent, since he's not able to get near the creeps. Just to finish off that point I was making before the engage.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if I mean, he bought the Hatchet, but I think he can use the Hatchet as just a one-time range attack, but not really going to fully utilize it. So it's a bit of waste of money, I can say, because it's like, yeah, like right now he's just waiting for the chance and just to release the Hatchet. Like, yeah, so it's not really you willing to spend the 200 plus goals just on a Hatchet that you can throw like every 30 seconds. So I would rather you spend it on something more useful, like Ward, something like that, for the other team to actually support. And meanwhile, at the middle lane, they managed to pick up Polywog Priest. So well done there.
Yeah, again, same story, different chapter. Polywog Priest just getting picked on this game, and this is a really scary time for Pebbles. He's gonna, or well, for the Legion team, because of Pebbles, I should say. He's going to move to the bottom lane, pick up that regeneration rune, throw it in the bottle. But Pebbles is going to start to snowball a little bit here, and he very well could get out of control. Let's see what he's doing in the way of items. Sitting on red boots at the moment. The courier going to bring in his, that's going to be his power supply. And I imagine he'll go steam boots, then probably just straight into PK after that. So Hiroki off to a great start, 2-0-1. As we mentioned, he tends to play kind of that carry style. He is the carry player for GuC. Full confidence his Pebbles will get out of control. Looking at that GPM chart as well, Draconis even a hop and a skip ahead of Pebbles, farming around 350 GPM. I mean, this is like a true free farm environment for Draconis, sitting level 6 already, the highest level in the game, as well as the highest farmer. Man, he could not be having much of a better start. Absolutely fantastic. I love that Aluna is moving around, trying to set up ganks in the mid, allowing Draconis to free farm, not leeching too much experience. GuC just off to a fantastic start now, about 3k gold, 2k experience ahead, 7 minutes in.
Yeah, definitely. So, well, compared to the previous game, this game Pebbles actually did fairly well in the mid lane. So it's really unfortunate for Polywalk Priest. Really unfortunate. Right now he's sitting at 0-2-0. So, well, compared to the last game, it's tragic.
Yeah, absolutely way different. And even, you know, in these long lanes, again, we can see what I referred to as compounding has basically come true here. Looking at the farm difference, Moon Queen 35 and 16, 52 and 26 on Draconis, and he is having a field day up here. Just going to use that Blazing Flight, clear up the creeps, and he's just going to go ahead and start pressuring this tower. He's got the Ring of the Teacher. He can make it happen. In the mid, Pebbles in a little bit of trouble. He's going to sip up that bottle and hit the power supply. It'll be enough to keep him alive. Reinforcements coming in. Bubble's going to come in with the Shell Surf. He's level 6. He's got a Kelp Field. There it is. It's going to come out onto Plague Rider. And Plague very well may pay the ultimate price here. The freeze from Glacius just to make it sting. The smackdown as well. Bubble's going to be the one to pick up that kill. And I think that's where the engage is going to stop. Polywalk Priest is going to be able to survive. But beautifully done. Bubbles now in great shape. He's 24 and 7. The long lane Kraken sitting only 9 and 1. We see the level difference 5 to 7. And now Bubbles picking up that kill. Really blossoming here, doing a great job shutting down Moon Queen's farm and picking up some farm of his own. Again, things just really couldn't be going much better for GuC. Kraken in this top lane may find himself in a bit of a sticky wicket. He's going to be stunned. He will be able to Tsunami charge out. Draconis is not going to pursue, just going to be happy to sit back, continue farming up in this lane.
Yeah, exactly. So it's really GuC currently is really in a good and comfortable position. Their Draconis is farming fairly well, sitting at 400 GPM mark. So, and their Bubbles is doing quite well as well, sitting at 200 GPM in a suicide lane to mention. So, yeah, they are really in a comfortable position right now, and it looks like Draconis is starting to take up the stacks. So, yep, look how fast he takes the stacks.
Wow. And
really?
Now he's got his sustainer complete, so now that's just rinse and repeat. He's going to have plenty of mana regen to keep spamming that blazing flight. It's a low mana cost, man. For the amount of damage it does, 400 damage total, 100 DPS in an area effect for only 60 mana, 10-second cooldown. Ridiculous. Of course, it does give him a survivability mechanic as well. It is a sprint of sorts. So, yep, Tofu just showing us what Draconis is all about. I love the build that he went for here as well. 4-4-0 as the opener, sitting level 8. Down in this bottom lane, we do see a kill coming out. Bubbles able to finish off Torturer. He's dangerously low himself, but the Shell Surf does make it happen. Very nicely done, that Torturer just hanging around a little bit too long. Unfortunately, this is what happens when you see a support Torturer. He's got no stats, so squishy early on. Just that one minor totem and a mana battery. That's really all he's got other than consumables. An unfortunate game for Torturer here to start things off.
Yeah. Well, Torturer is another hero where he needs a lot of mana pool, and he needs to get some farm. As a supporter, he can't like be Glacius or Aluna, which go full support. And right now he's really doing not really well, sitting at 67 GPM, so he's carrying the lowest of all. So
yeah, that's
he needs to do something.
Yeah, 67 GPM. That's not where you want to be. That's rough when your two hard supports are that low in the double digits. We're going to see it engaged in the mid lane here. Pebble's actually going to be the one to get engaged on, but he's going to pick up the first kill. Polywog Priest going to fall. They might be able to turn this around onto Hiroki. Going to use that power supply. It's going to keep him alive a bit longer, but that's going to be the end of him. The chain reaction going to finish him off. Torturer will pay the ultimate price, though. Plague is going to go off. Not going to catch any bounces. Just going to hit a Luna once, and that'll be the end of it. A 3-for-1 exchange in favor of GuC. Pebble's going to be the only one to fall. Again, great support from Haha Zim right there, porting to the mid lane and showing us what Bubbles is all about. Let's take a look at that damage breakdown tab. Bubbles leading the way at 17%. Very nicely done. That Polywog Priest, this is what happens when he kind of inverse snowballs a little bit. 0-3-1 here, only 150 GPM. Red boots, 2 marks of the novice, but that's it. He has absolutely no stats, and he is just a juicy target for Pebbles here. We saw Pebbles tanking all that magic damage so well, 1,200 hit points. He is just rock solid right now, man.
Yeah, exactly. So he's hitting level 7, and he's going to be level 8 soon, and will be at 4-4. So once he has his first and second skill max out, he will release snowball really hard, and he could instant kill any one of these heroes except for Kraken. So wow.
Polywog Priest, that was a free kill onto a Luna right there. Polywog Priest, as we mentioned earlier on in I think in game 1, that's a hero when he hits level 6, he becomes almost a different hero with that ward trap. He had wards up and a double damage. Wow, just throw those wards down on a Luna. That's a kill, Demo Hunter. Very unfortunate to see him not capitalize there.
Yeah.
And triple stack Ancients here. Looks like Pebble's going to be able to clean it up, or at least he's going to sip up that bottle and then throw another combo. That's one thing GuC has been doing very well throughout this entire tournament. They've been keeping their Ancients stacked and taken out in a very appropriate manner here. We're going to see, there you go, Pebble's just going to clean it up. That's going to be a huge gold boost for him. Well above 300 GPM now. Actually, just a mosquito in the shadow of the 450 GPM Draconis in that top lane. But yeah, Pebble's up to 320 here. He's going to finish off that last Dragon Master and give him a little boost up to about 330. Very nicely done. Legion Ancients warded here. They have it on lockdown, but not stacking or being taken out. Kind of unfortunate. Also unfortunate positioning as well. Their primary farmer is in the bottom lane, very far away. They could at least be stacking it, though, for sure.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, right now, Moonqueen has the Whispering Helm, so he could actually get one creep from the hard camp and just macro a bit to stack the Ancient. So looks like Draconis is in big trouble. Moonqueen actually pop to the top and release the Kraken onto Draconis, and Draconis definitely is going down here. Wow, I don't think the Moon finale is even needed, but wow, that's definitely an overkill by the Legion team.
Yeah, they it looks like they were feeling pretty comfortable, and then Bubble's gonna come in here. He's gonna use the Kelp Field, and I think Moonqueen is destined to fall. Not much that she can do. No mana, no escape mechanism. Down she goes. Nicely cleaned up by Zim. But yeah, a bit of overkill on Draconis. I think they were a little bit afraid once he dropped what is it, the Dragon Breath or a Dragon Flame onto Kraken. Maybe a little bit nervous that Draconis could make it into a 1-for-1. So, although it was overkill, I can understand the mentality to just say, you know what, let's make sure we can make this a cost-effective exchange. Of course, it does end up being a 1-for-1 anyway. Nicely done by Bubbles to blow that Kelp Field. 9-2 now, about 9k gold advantage, almost 6k experience, just about 15 minutes in. GuC just taking command of this game very early on, and by the looks of it, they're not slowing down whatsoever. Draconis only 0-1-2 in the KDA, but wow, that farm non-stop holding 450 GPM. He is still just in great shape. Stacking and pulling, he's going to triple stack the pull right here, and I imagine Blazing Fury will... or Blazing Flight, pardon me, will be used here. Yeah, there it is. Just look at that, man. It is incredible. This right here, ladies and gentlemen, of course, the Wild Hunter is making it a little bit less epic from a spectator perspective. Don't underestimate how quickly a Draconis can clear a triple stacked jungle. It is ridiculous, and that is what's allowing him to keep that farm as high as it is. I mean, Moonqueen's been having a pretty good game. He's 1-1-1. He's had free farm, and he's only at 285 GPM. Draconis showing us what farming's all about. Did miss a kill in the mid lane on the Demo Hunter, pardon me. Looks like a pretty straightforward kill, though. Pebbles has now picked up his portal key. Polywog Priest getting a up close and personal look at that newly fashioned relic.
Yeah, definitely. So it's not even funny if Draconis got his Nowstone within 40-minute mark. So it's really very fast. I mean, look how fast he cleared the creeps. I mean, wow. Within 7 seconds he cleared the 3-stack hard camp. I mean, oh my god, it's really very fast. So
yep. And all you really need is a sustainer. That's the sad part. I mean, he just picked up the Nullstone. Now it's super easy, but with the regen of a sustainer, I mean, you have enough mana to do that all day, every day. And we're going to hold that thought here, though. Pebble's going to get engaged on the Plague going to be used. It's not going to catch a bounce, but it'll be enough. to take out Pebbles, but not before turning it around. Hiroki actually able to pick up a kill. The rest of the team going to come in. The Kraken is going to be released, but I don't think it's going to be enough to spare the team. Torturer going to be in a little bit of trouble. Chain reaction going to hit. Is the power throw going to finish her off? It is off cooldown. And, yep, Aluna going to be able to pick up an easy kill. Kraken actually does survive, but it's going to be a 1 for 3. They do manage to take out Pebbles, but he is just so damn tanky. He was able to take one out with him. Very nicely done by GuC. The team support here has just been phenomenal throughout this entire match.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, this Aluna is really doing a good job supporting Draconis as well as supporting their mid laner. So, well, I really love this playstyle of Aluna.
Yeah, Aluna having a fantastic match. Glancing at her stats here, she's sitting 3-0-5. So doing pretty well. Almost the highest combination of kills and assists, tied with Draconis here. Both at 8. Draconis about to get this tier 2 tower at the top. It's actually going to get denied by the Kraken here. A little bit of a misplay from Draconis, in my humble opinion. In the bottom lane, Moon Queen going to be able to get a tower, but she's going to pay for it with her own life. Aluna and Pebbles both going to come in to clean it up. Pretty easy kill right there. Aluna going to walk home the victor. Now 4-0-5, sitting around 200 GPM.
Really, so Aluna is really in a good shape right now, and as a supporter, you get so much kills, and it's really huge for the team. You won't have any ward issues, like he will be able to afford all the wards and the dewarding as well. So yeah, it's definitely a good sign for the Hellborn team. So,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Aluna still, in my opinion, probably the most valuable hero in the picking phase. She rarely gets banned, but oh man, she's been picked almost every game. I would label her maybe the most sought after support, and for good reason, man. She is just so versatile. She can do so much magic damage, that global presence, and we're going to see a very easy kill on the Torture. They're just going to get caught by Glacius, and the follow-up will be there. We do have an invisible Pebbles. He's going to burn the invis, but he's going to catch a combo onto Demo Hunter. That's going to be an easy kill. The power throw actually going to pick it up. Kraken with a nice charge. It's going to catch Pebbles, and that'll be the end of Pebbles. A beautiful moon, or pardon me, that'll be the end of... wow, why was that so disorienting? That will be the end of both Pebbles and Glacius from a nice moon finale. Very nicely done. Thought that Kraken may be overstepping his bounds, but the moon finale was there to clean it up. Of course, level 11 Moon Queen. Level 2 Moon Finale did make that a little bit easier.
Yeah, definitely. That was a really good pot by Moon Queen, just to pot down to the mid lane and assist his team in the fight, and just do a Moon Finale. We'll be able to get 2 kills out there. So yeah, it definitely will help to boost up his farm a little bit.
Yep, and push him above the 300 GPM mark at least, but it just feigns in comparison to what Draconis is up to. He just pushed that tier 1 in the bottom lane, and he is well over 500 GPM now. He's picked up that lifesteal, he's got the Whispering Helm, and I have to imagine that a Shrunken Head is going to be coming next for Tofu once farm allows. He's got about 1800 in the bank, so it won't be too terribly long. Like you said, Moon Queen's farm going to get boosted up, but, oh man, it's not bad, but just compared to Draconis, not even close. Really, the ironic part is this Draconis has been so passive. I mean, he's really been keeping to himself, just pushing these lanes. He's only 0-1-2, low on assists, and obviously the only person on the Hellborn side with a negative KDA, ironic as that may be. And look at him, he's going to clear out this double-stacked Ancients here. Again, the Blazing Flight mixed with the Dragon Flame. He's going to be able to clear it out in just a matter of seconds here, man. It's going to boost his GPM even more now, getting close to that 550 mark. Yeah,
definitely. Like we can see, he really clears the creep like a machine. Serious, like just a blazing fly and after a dragon flame, and all the creeps just died like that. I mean, wow, he seems to be so powerful.
Yep,
and looks like there's engage going on. Yeah, Bubbles actually poured in, and he's a big trouble. Followed by a Pebbles, Blink, Stun Toss, and be able to catch so many heroes. Wow, a nice ultimate coming out from Glacius. Be able to take down 2 heroes. Wow, nice play there by Glacius.
Yeah.
And at the bottom, we'll be able to catch Kraken. Wow.
It's going to make it a 1 for 4, and you're absolutely right. That Glacial Downpour right there, so beautifully done. Also, the release of the Kraken unfortunately didn't connect with a hell of a lot. The Voodoo Wards placed maybe a little bit too aggressively on that tower, and really didn't do maximum damage in that fight. So sort of a series of small plays there from FTD, but nice cleanup from GuC for sure. They are going to be rewarded handsomely with a nice tier 1 tower in the mid lane Hiroki on that Pebble is going to be the one to pick up the official last hit, so that'll boost his farm even more. Another successful team fight, and Draconis picking up another assist in that fight. Does have 3,400 gold in the bank now, so if he wants Shrunken Head, he's going to be able to pick it up pretty quickly here. Just a few more hundred to go. If he wants something maybe a little bit more aggressive, it will be within his grasp pretty quickly here. Glacius now just finishing that Astrolabe as well.
Yeah, definitely. So I really feel that the Hellborn team really has a really good teamwork synergy down here, and it really communicates really very well. I mean, Bubbles go in and initiate and follow up by Pebbles, and wow, everything seems to be so smooth, and they are really coordinating really well with each other. And as like you point out, their Ancient Crypt is constantly stacking, and their Glaciers is really doing a very good job stacking those Ancients repeatedly.
Yep, absolutely. It's at another double stack here, and we actually see the Hellborn side just going to go ahead and throw a ward down in their opposition's Ancient, so they're not even going to spawn anymore. They were cleared once, maybe even by the Hellborn side, but that's going to be it. And that's really accounting for a big disparity here. I'd love to go back and do the math and see how much of a difference that's making. One team capitalizing on the Ancients almost to their fullest potential, and the other team really pretty much just ignoring the Ancients for all intents and purposes. And we see 18k gold, 16k experience. You have to imagine that map control and Ancient stacking are really a big part of that, amongst some other things as well, of course. Moon Queen does have a couple of stacks in her jungle, and she's going to start clearing stuff out. Again, using that multi-strike ability that we've been talking about, one of the things that allows her to be such a great carry, synergize with some of these pushing teams. And one thing I feel like we haven't mentioned so much is this Legion team, they actually have a lot of pushing power. They've got the Impalement from Torturer, of course the Voodoo Wards on Polywog Priest, and then also Moon Queen with that multi-strike. A little bit of a shame that they've only been able to push one Tier 1 tower. If they could have picked up maybe a few more early towers, especially with those Voodoo Wards, maybe they could have climbed their way out of this deficit a little bit easier earlier on. Also, Assassin Shroud picked up here by Draconis after clearing that triple stack Ancient yet again in this game.
Yeah, definitely. That's a good point to point out, actually. They had a really pushing strat right here. So, but well, I think right now it's actually too late, and it's really risky if they really go for the pushing strat. So they should go for it earlier when Pebbles and Bubbles does not have their portal key. So right now they already had their portal key, and at the bottom lane there's an engage going on through, and Moon Queen is in big trouble. Will be finished off by Draconis, followed up by a Plague will be bouncing through there, and wow, Tsunami charge on Draconis, but he will be shroud away. So a nice take cover by Bubbles down there, and wow, nice red power show by Luna will be able to take out Plague Rider. Definitely, they're great. Another Tsunami charge onto Draconis, and wow, a Dragon Flame will be able to finish off Kraken down there. Wow, well played by GuC down there.
Beautiful.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's going to be a 4-for-0 exchange. That was just so beautifully orchestrated right there. So much initiation and then counter initiation from both teams. And Bubbles going in, taking the brunt of the fire. Even Draconis understanding how tanky he truly is right now with his 19 armor, the 1,600 hit points thanks to that Null Stone. He was straight up in that tower, secured that first kill, and sort of forced them to engage. It wasn't a bad release of the Kraken, and I do want to point out that Kraken has been doing some pretty fancy work with those Tsunami charges. I've seen, I think, every one on camera that wasn't used purely to run away has been, how to say, one that runs them into a cliff or a tree or something to proc that stun and make full use of that Tsunami charge. So that is one thing Kraken has been doing very well this game. Unfortunately, team fights like that have just been all too common, and GuC now leading 24-6, 25 minutes in. Feeling pretty confident that they're going to have themselves a spot in the finals here coming up, Min.
Yeah, definitely. So right now they had the map control over the Legion team, so definitely they are really in a very good combat. Oh, there's a engage coming through, a pot by Pebbles will be able to. Wow, okay, a Moon Queen will be able to be taken down by the assist of Luna and Glacier. So, well, it's a one-to-one trade down there. Definitely, it's a good trade, Bubbles for Moon Queen. So, yeah.
Yeah, kind of unfortunate for Bubbles, maybe getting a little bit too hasty, but you're exactly right. Bubbles for Moon Queen is always going to be favorable for the team losing the Bubbles there. Moon Queen is getting close to that shrunken head. That's actually kind of a painful death. She's got the 2 core pieces close to that recipe. That's going to set her back a little bit. She just has the Whispering Helm as well. I don't know, once that shrunken head comes out, Moon Queen will be a little bit more scary, but wow, Draconis has again Juro and another 1600 in the bank. He is just getting out of control. That farm is just non-stop. Now up to 625 GPM. Every time I look at that GPM chart, Draconis is just a little bit higher than he was before. And that just seems like an incredible feat. Now up to almost 650 here. Only 27 minutes worth of gameplay. That is just an incredible rate of farm min. Wow. Tofu having one hell of a game.
Yeah, definitely. He's so farmed up right now with the Genjuro right now. He is really powerful and he hits really hard, and it's really bad position for the Legion team. So I don't know if they still have the magic power. Polywog Priest still can do a ward trap onto Draconis to actually lock him down, but provided they need an eye or a ref ward or something. So it looks like they had a ref ward, and yeah, at least they're going to try it. And looks like they're going to do some Congo attempt here for the Hellborn team, and it's going to be a free Congo. They don't have any wards outside.
Yep. Absolutely no wards from FTD. We do see 1 ward for the Hellborn side here, so GuC is going to be able to do this pretty safely. Luna going to toss the red power throw and see that most of them are in the base. So nice and easy Kongor kill. Draconis going to be the one to grab the token. No big surprise there. But another 3K in the bank of Draconis. Actually, a Luna with about 2,400 as well. We'll see where she goes. Bubbles just about to pick up that Hellflower. He's like 50 gold off or something. And if he gets at least one of these creep kills here, one of these Predators, yeah, there he is. He's going to have more than enough to finish up that Hellflower. So another round of big items about to be completed. Pebbles has also picked up his Shrunken Head, sitting level 15 at the moment. He does have an Invisibility rune and a Haste active. So complete rune control at the moment. We'll see if Pebbles can make something happen. He's looking for it. He's looking for an opportunity. He's hungry for blood. I don't know if he's going to be satisfied though.
Yeah, he could really just initiate in and just pick off at least Polywog Priest. Really, they had to pick up Polywog Priest as his wards are really pretty irritating, and it's quite painful for actually level 2 warding. So he has to find a chance to pick off Polywog Priest, but it's not that easy because he had a vestment on him. So well, it's up to
beautiful positioning here. Draconis just up in the front lines, recognizing he has the Nullstone and the token. He's going to just chip away at that. They're going to get that tower down to just about half health before anything even happens. Draconis just right-click auto-attack, and you can see this Legion team very, very hesitant to engage here. Plague Rider going to throw a ward down on the low ground. Probably a smart play. They need to get some vision into this site. The Nullstone on Draconis is going to be burned. Perhaps this is the opportunity they're looking for. Polywog Priest going to get dropped just about instantly. Good call on that one, Min. The Hellflower going to be enough to prevent the wards from coming out. Pebble's going to go in. That'll be the end of Torturer. That's going to be a 2-for-0 to start things off. The tower going to start taking some damage. And so far, absolutely no pressure on this Hellborn team. Draconis, the only one taking a bit of damage, getting a little bit low, still has the token. So all things considered, he's not going to be too intimidated. Astrolabe going to get popped. That's going to pick him up a little bit. And racks are exposed. Still no glyph to use. I'm not sure if FTD has one. Bubble's going to go straight in. Moon Queen is going to get the Moon Finale off. I don't know that it's going to be enough, though. Doesn't look like they're going to be able to secure a kill. Draconis still alive, still with the token in hand. And yeah, they're just going to get cleaned up here. Moon Queen going to be the lone survivor. Only level 15. So unfortunately, just the level 2 Moon Finale, not the level 3. But looking very dark for our Legion team here, man. I think GuC is pretty close to sealing the deal, so to speak. Moon Queen, or Torturer going to go in, pardon me. Going to get taken out by Hiroki. Polywog Priest going to get Hellflowered yet again. Still no Voodoo Ward's going to come out. Poor Polywog Priest, man. I can't help but feel like he's getting a little bit griefed right here. Bubbles just saving that Hellflower for him back to back. That would be a Savage Maze, right-clicked by Draconis.
Yeah, definitely. They are really owning this game and dominating right now at the well, having a great time just auto-attacking them. And looks like he's overextending here, but it does not matter at all. Oh. Well, they are just, Dracon is just overpowered.
Yeah,
Wow.
hoping that that Plague Rider ulti there may be able to pick up a couple of kills, but just going to bounce around and fizzle out. Vote to concede. There it is. It's going to pass. So it is official. FTD going to concede a loss in the semifinals to GuC. A very fun game there, man. And that means we are going to be moving on to the finals next. We can look at the post-game stats here. Aluna with the best record at the end, 7-0 and 19. Though Tofu, 680 GPM when it's all said and done. Very, very impressive plays. Can't wait to see how they fare in the finals. I can actually take a moment here. Let me refresh my brackets. Let's see if the other set did complete. And it looks like E did take out OGSY. So that does mean it will be GuC versus E in the best of 3 finals coming up next. Min, tell me you're pumped, buddy.
Wow. Truly, words from my heart. I'm really interested in this match, and it will definitely be the greatest match to watch compared to yesterday's. We had E versus NUFC, so it's gonna be another match, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Yep, absolutely, myself included. Should be one hell of a series. So stay tuned, guys. Plenty more Heroes of North action coming your way here at the Malaysian Han National Championship 2012 September online qualifier.